Welcome to Stories Aloud, where stories are read just for you.
Today we're asking something, well, pretty fundamental. How much are we really willing to sacrifice just for appearances?
It's a big one.
Yeah, and we're going deep into a classic story that honestly feels surprisingly modern in what it reveals about us, about pride, desire, and maybe the hidden costs we don't always see.
Right.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack this story that seems simple, almost like a fable, but holds these profound truths. We're using it as a lens, you know?
Absolutely. And these older narratives, they're brilliant for this kind of deep dive because
Yeah.
they tap into universal human stuff, timeless dilemmas.
Uh-huh.
This one in particular, it delivers some serious aha moments about our choices, about social pressure, and, well, what happens when looking good becomes more important than, actual reality.
It really gets into how perception can shape everything.
Totally. When appearance outweighs the real substance.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story revolves around Mathilde Loisel. She's described as beautiful, graceful, but she's deeply unhappy.
Right. There's this real disconnect.
Exactly. She's married to a regular clerk, lives in a perfectly okay apartment, but it's functional, not grand. And her whole being just aches for luxury.
Yeah, she's dreaming of silk curtains, fancy dinners, the whole high society package.
It's not like she's starving, but her everyday life feels like this constant, bitter letdown compared to the life she thinks she should have.
And what's fascinating, I think, is how she's immediately contrasted with her husband, Monsieur Loisel.
Oh, totally.
He's like the picture of contentment, kind, practical, happy with their simple life.
Yeah.
So her unhappiness isn't really about actual dire poverty. It's internal. It's all about her perception, her feeling that she deserves more, that things should look different. It's a really powerful point about how lack can just be in your head.
It really sets the stage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then, boom, the catalyst arrives.
The invitation.
Yes, Monsieur Loisel comes home just beaming, waving this invitation to the minister's ball. A huge deal for them, like a real step into that world she craves.
You can imagine her heart just leaping for a second.
It does. But almost instantly, it crashes. I have nothing to wear, she says. Total despair. The dream immediately sours into this feeling of inadequacy.
And that shift right there is so key.
Yeah.
From excitement to, I'm not good enough.
Classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get a glimpse of something better, and suddenly what you have feels worthless.
Yeah.
And this is where that social comparison thing really starts to demand payment. Literally. Monsieur Loisel gives up his savings.
The 400 francs.
Yeah, 400 francs he'd saved for a hunting rifle, something for himself, just so she can buy a dress. It raises that question, how often do we make these little sacrifices for some perceived lack, thinking it'll fix things?
Only to find it's never enough, which is exactly what happens next.
Mhm.
Because even with the gorgeous new satin gown, the joy is short-lived. Now it's, I have no jewels.
Right. The goalposts shift immediately.
She says she'll look poor among the rich women without some sparkle. It just shows how chasing that external validation, it rarely satisfies, does it? It just creates a new thing you need. Exactly. It's this escalating need. Each fix just reveals the next perceived flaw. And her poor husband, he's just trying to help, suggests borrowing something.
Which leads her to Madame Forestier, her wealthy friend.
Yep. Who is surprisingly generous, actually, and just opens her jewelry box. And Mathilde picks out this stunning diamond necklace.
The diamonds. The ultimate symbol.
And the perceived value of that necklace becomes, well, everything.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. The night of the ball.
The transformation.
Total transformation.
Yeah.
Mathilde is radiant. She's the center of attention. Everyone's looking at her, whispering about her. She's dancing, laughing, just soaking it all in.
Living the dream.
For one night, yeah. The illusion is perfect. Appearance lines up exactly with her deepest desires. But, is there maybe an argument that even a borrowed moment like that intense fulfillment, does it offer some value? Or is the inevitable crash just too costly?
That's a really good question, because this is the absolute peak, isn't it? Her perceived success. She tastes the life she thinks she deserves. But the danger is right there in that perfection, because it's built on something borrowed, something unreal. It reinforces the idea that happiness comes from these external symbols, not from within. And yeah, the higher you climb on that borrowed ladder.
The harder the fall. And fall it does.
Oh, yeah.
That perfect night ends abruptly. They get home. She takes one last look in the mirror to admire herself and gasp.
It's gone.
The necklace is gone. Just vanished.
Yeah.
And it's not just losing jewelry, is it? It feels like the whole facade, the whole dream just collapses in that instant.
Absolutely. The shift from that high, that euphoria, to just sheer panic. It's instant. You can feel it. They search everywhere. The street, the cab, her dress folds.
Desperate.
Utterly desperate. But it's gone. And the stakes feel impossibly high because of the illusion she needed to maintain.
And Monsieur Loisel, bless him, he doesn't even seem to pause. We'll replace it. Just like that. Without really thinking through the consequences, maybe.
Or maybe just seeing no other option given her state and perhaps his own sense of responsibility or panic.
So they start the hunt, jeweler after jeweler, until they find one that looks identical. The price tag.
Oof.
36,000 francs. An absolutely staggering amount. More money than they could ever imagine having. And that's it. Financial ruin. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah. They borrow from everyone. Moneylenders, strangers, high-interest loans, just to scrape together this fortune.
But you connect that back,
Yeah.
right? Remember, the 400 francs for the rifle.
Yeah.
Now it's 36,000. It's just devastating. A whole lifetime of comfort gone.
And the irony just starts twisting the knife here.
Mhm.
Because they finally get the replacement, Mathilde takes it back to Madame Forestier, and she barely glances at it. Madame Forestier just says something like, "Oh, you should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it." Doesn't inspect it closely. Just thank you.
Wow.
That detail. So small at the time. But looking back, it's crucial. It's this little clue that the value Mathilde placed on it maybe wasn't the real value.
And so begins the decade of hardship. 10 years.
10 long years.
They fire their maid. They move out of their apartment into a tiny attic room. And Mathilde? She changes completely. Physically.
Yeah, the descriptions are harsh. Her hands get red and rough from scrubbing floors, doing laundry. Her hair's neglected, her skirts are askew, her voice gets loud and coarse.
She haggles with the butcher, the grocer, all the elegance she had, or aspired to, just ground away by relentless work and poverty.
And Monsieur Loisel, too. Working evenings, copying documents late into the night, both of them just sacrificing everything, their youth, their health.
It's brutal.
It really shows the depth of that sacrifice. It's not just about money anymore. It's their entire identity, their whole lives consumed by this debt. That one decision, based on pride, creates this decade-long prison. The sunk cost is immense.
So after 10 grueling years, they finally pay it all off, every last franc. Mathilde is, well, she's aged terribly. She's coarse, hardened, a shadow of her former self.
Completely unrecognizable, probably.
And one Sunday, she's walking in the park, and she sees Madame Forestier, still elegant, still youthful, seemingly untouched by time.
Wow. The contrast must have been jarring.
Yeah. And Mathilde decides to approach her. She says, "Good day, Jeanne." Madame Forestier doesn't recognize her at first. "But, Madame, I don't know, you must be mistaken."
Oof.
"No, I am Mathilde Loisel."
And what drives her to do that, do you think? After all that time, all that secrecy?
Maybe a need to finally tell someone the truth, to have her suffering acknowledged, or maybe even a flicker of pride in having survived it, having paid the debt.
Could be. A complex mix of emotions, probably.
So she tells her everything: the lost necklace, the replacement, the 10 years of crushing debt and work,
And Madame Forestier listens, shocked, her face pale.
and then delivers the final devastating blow. She takes Mathilde's hands and says, "Oh, my poor Mathilde, why, my necklace was paste. It was worth at most 500 francs.
Fate.
Fake. All of it. The suffering, the sacrifice, the lost youth, the ruined lives, for an imitation, worth maybe 500 francs, not 36,000.
The weight of that realization, it's almost unimaginable.
Utterly crushing, isn't it? The irony is just breathtakingly cruel.
And that really hammers home the core message, doesn't it? It wasn't bad luck or fate or even the loss of the necklace itself that ruined them.
Yeah.
It was her pride, her inability to just be honest from the start, to admit she'd lost a borrowed item, which, let's face it, was probably not that valuable to her rich friend anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That refusal to face a small embarrassment led to a decade of genuine misery.
The choice to deceive rather than be truthful had these enormous life-altering consequences. And the profound irony is that the thing she sacrificed everything for, it wasn't even real. It really drives home that saying, pride is the most expensive thing we own.
Wow. What a story. A truly profound, if bittersweet lesson from this deep dive into Mathilde Loisel's life. It's such a powerful reminder, isn't it, about the real cost of perception, the weight of pride we choose to carry.
Yeah, it's definitely not just about a necklace. It's about the tracks we set for ourselves. And it really pushes us to think, more broadly. in our own lives, how much of our own stress, our own suffering, maybe even how we react to news or information, how much of it is self-inflicted because of what we choose to believe or project or what we just can't bring ourselves to admit.
The fake necklaces we chase, or the ones we convince ourselves are real.
Exactly. They might be more common than we think.
So something to maybe mull over as you go about your day. What burden might you be carrying, heavy as it feels, simply because you're too proud to admit the truth? Or maybe just too proud to question if something that seems so precious actually is. We'll leave you with that.
Thanks for listening to Stories Aloud.
If this story moved you, subscribe for more tales.
Until next time, keep listening.